Hey, welcome to this Windows channel, and this is a video to answer a question that I've had many of in the past 2 days since the Apple event. I had a few of those before, but now I had a few more, and I thought, yeah, maybe we could talk about this. So, what about the iPad Pro versus the Surface Pro? So, the iPad Pro being Apple's own iPad that they're trying to kind of push as a desktop, or not a desktop, but a more of a kind of a workhorse replacement for PC. Compared to Surface Pro, what's the difference? Why would I choose one over the other, and is it a good replacement for work? Here's the thing. Both devices, Surface Pro 4 and iPad Pro that's been announced, the 9.7 inch and the 12.9 inch, are great devices in their respect. And I mean, the iPad's nice and great in what it does. The Surface Pro is great in where it is also. What's the key difference? Basically, the iPad runs, first of all, on iOS. The Surface Pro runs on Windows 10. Basically, if you are someone that has different software that they want to run Office, they want to do a lot of stuff. The advantage of Surface Pro is the fact that it's a real computer. It actually does everything you need, like a Windows laptop. And that's pretty cool. The Surface Pro runs on iOS, so unless your specific software that you need exists in that platform, it might not be the correct device for you. Also, think about the fact that being a Windows Surface tablet, you can do whatever you want. You can actually, it's an open platform. You can rename folders. You can do whatever you want in that Windows Surface Pro. You can save programs everywhere. You can edit pictures. You can, rename pictures easily. You can transfer pictures to a, USB thumb drive or a USB hard drive. You cannot on the Surface, on the iPad Pro. iPad Pro does not have a USB port, does not have the possibility to have a hard drive, an external hard drive plugged in, or a thumb drive. It's not made for that purpose. So sharing documents is only through the cloud or online, not through devices. So you can see that these devices are very, very, very different, but they each have their own niche. So here's the Surface, the iPad Pro. The iPad Pro, it runs the same operating system that you get on your iPhone, and basically I would say the iPad is more of, if you only do email, surf the web a little bit, stuff like that, and like to play casual games, the iPad is a great device for that. It does what it does really well. If you want to watch movies, it does it well also. Battery life is amazing. And for that purpose, this device is incredible. So if you are only doing the basic stuff, that could be the device that you want to use. Remember, the pictures, the videos, the stuff that you take, you can't really put them on an external hard drive or anything. You'll be using iCloud or OneDrive that is available for the iOS platform. Pretty much everything relies on internet and cloud services, so you have to be pretty much plugged in all the time on the internet if you want to have some aspect of what you're doing with your iPad. Except of course playing internal games, but even then, it's much of a connected device. It has a beautiful screen, and if you watch videos and stuff like that, it's incredible. It takes great pictures, and the only drawback that I would say is, of course, it doesn't run the usual PC software. It is a closed circuit operating system. You don't have the possibility to really tweak anything in here because it's not like Windows that is an open operating system and you do whatever you want basically. So that kind of pulls off a little bit. Some of my clients that bought iPads thinking they would replace their computers, kind of got a little, on the bad side, said, yeah, you know what? I thought the iPad was better than that. And maybe that's also why the iPad is stagnating in sales. People see that device, they think it will replace a laptop or a desktop, and they find themselves finally using this and saying, well, it doesn't replace my laptop. I don't do everything I did on my laptop. Also, it's not a multitasker, so basically on your Surface device, if you run a Surface device, you'll have multitask. You'll have multiple programs running together. You can have two programs side by side easily. It runs everything really well. It's a powerful machine. Battery life is not as good as the iPad. Then again, you get a full computer that does everything you need. Of course, both have a keyboard available. It's not with the device, so you have to buy it extra. The Surface keyboard looks more like a laptop style keyboard with a touchpad, and of course it is also a touch screen, and it has a pen which is included on the Surface, not on the iPad, which is interesting. And you pretty much do whatever you want. You can open documents, you can open PDFs, modify, do whatever you want. The iPad, to some degree, okay, Office is available on the iPad for some use. It lets you work on some documents to a certain point, but the fact that saving documents is really on the cloud and not in the device, and not having the possibility to share through USB, thumb drive, or hard drive is kind of complex. Also, not all printers, not all devices support the AirPrint or the features of the iPad, where in the Surface you'll plug in pretty much every device that runs in Windows on this, and it's just gonna work because it's a Windows machine. It works as usual. And also, well, you know what? If you never use an iPad, it's not complicated. An iPad is usually quite easy to use, but it gets getting used to. And as a tech guy, I do have a lot of clients that actually call me to get kind of a few lessons on the iPad because they're kind of lost. They come from a Windows world and they're like in iOS, they're not really sure how to do stuff. Even though it's not that complicated as an operating system, there are stuff that are not necessarily always easy to, not all tasks are easy to do on it. Here you got a Windows environment. If you ever had a desktop PC or a laptop, you're familiar. It works pretty much the same way. Things work pretty much like they do on any Windows computer. So it's up to you to decide whatever you want. The Surface Pro is very powerful. The iPad is powerful in its respect, but it's not a multitask machine. And if you run, it has 2 gigabytes of RAM, so it can become sluggish if you try to run stuff in parallel a little bit. Surface has an external port that's easy to plug on any HDMI screen, and that's included in the device. You don't have to buy anything extra. On the iPad, you have to buy a display adapter that costs more money. So there's a lot of things that you need to consider here. I personally would consider the iPad more of a casual, we go on the web, we surf the web, email is great, and gaming machine most of the time, because of its excellent games in iOS. I would consider the Surface Pro more of a student or a worker, or you're looking at some portable device to work with. This is the device that's much easier and lets you share easily stuff from one to the other. If somebody sends you an awkward file in your email, most of them won't open on the iPad. It does on Windows as long as you got the correct software. So, it's something to think about. Each device is great in its own category. I hesitated a long time to do a compare video simply because they're not the same devices. They're not meant to do the same things. The iPad has its own market, and the Surface Pro has its own market, and that's the important thing to remember. So if you're looking for something that is Windows, if you're looking for something that is just, you know, easy to use because you've been in a Windows world all the time, a Surface tablet is great. It's a great device, and I can tell you because my nephew has one also. I've, have hands-on experience with that Surface, and it's pretty cool. I have an iPad, pretty cool device, but it's different, and I don't see myself working on an iPad really. I don't see myself doing the same things on an iPad. Basically, my iPad's become what? Mostly a reader for books, because for that use it's great. It's become a gaming machine because I love playing games on it, and it is somewhat good for surfing the web and email also. So it's up to you to make your choice. What do you want? It's up to you. If you enjoy my videos, why not subscribe to my channel? You'll be informed when videos are online. Give us thumbs up if you like the videos. And thank you so much for following me and for the questions, giving me inspiration for new videos. Thanks for watching.